Me again. Again, sorry, old phone for some reason, even though all the lights are on in the room, when I'm using the front-facing camera, it darkens down everything. I've just spent 8 or 9 minutes recording a beer review, and even though the little red light was flashing away, something fucked up because it wasn't saved. So, apologies. If you remember one of my most recent videos, I reviewed Irishtown Brewing Company's Dublin Blonde. And I said at the time that the one other beer they had out was the Dublin Red, which I couldn't find. Well, I found it today in Dunn's. So I'll just show you the can now, even though it's already opened. Now, I just want to point something out. Great artwork, I have to say. I really like this retro, classy style artwork. What I want to point out is, it's a redhead woman with red lipstick, a red top. It says Dublin Red, and it's red down here, okay? All this says red ale to me. It's called a Dublin Red after all. But yet, according to them, it's a pale ale. Like, what the hell is that shit about? But anyway. Out of the tin, very malty. Some nice toffee caramel sweetness. Again, everything I would be expecting out of an Irish Red. Slight bit of skunkiness. Slight bit of skunkiness on the back end. No metallicness out of the tin on this one. And I did get it out of the tin on the Dublin Blonde. No apologies guys. As you can see, yeah, it's almost gone. So, again, it's very similar in appearance to the Dublin Blonde, except a wee bit darker. So it's basically like a slightly darker version of the Dublin Blonde, which I liken to the colour of a Vienna Lager. So it's a slightly darker Vienna Lager. Very confusing for something that's supposed to be a pale ale, but what do I know? Again, on the nose, I'm getting that toffee, that caramel, slight bit of skunkiness on the back end. I'm actually getting quite boozy notes on the nose, and it's kind of surprising because that's only a 4.4% ABV beer, so that's slightly confusing. I'm going for the taste for what little is left. Slainte. Okay, before I say anything else, I just want to say this. That's a red ale in flavour. I'm sorry. Up front, except for one thing. Up front, I'm getting a nice, grassy, subtle, grassy bitterness, followed by like a citrus pith or peel. Certain hops that I've used before, Citra, it hasn't got the punch that Citra has, but you get what I'm saying? One of those citrusy hops. It's got a light to medium body, almost exactly the same as the Dublin Blonde. The toffee caramel notes that I was getting on the nose from the can and from the glass are not following through in the flavour. It's a very, very drinkable beer. It's minimal carbonation. It's a very pleasant beer, and I have to say it's a way better beer than the Dublin Blonde is. I'm not saying that the Dublin Blonde was bad, but miles and above the Dublin Blonde. If you've ever shopped in Aldi, and you may have seen O'Shea's line in beers, which are made by the same crowd that do O'Hara's. But basically, they have to rebrand it under O'Shea's. O'Shea's is like the budget version of most of O'Hara's. Name escapes. Carlow Brewing Company, I think. They do a red ale under the O'Shea's brand name for Aldi. And it's almost exactly like this. This is 95% like what that is. Except for whatever hop they used in this is slightly different. To me, guys, this is like a run-of-the-mill, I don't want to say diluted red ale, but budget brand red ale. Very, very pleasant. I'm actually quite impressed by it. Yeah. I'd definitely go out and buy that one again, and I'd certainly buy it before I buy the Dublin Blonde. I'd easily give that a 6.5 out of 10. I was going to give it a 7. The reason I'm knocking it a half a pint is, like I said, red hair, red lipstick, red top, Dublin Red, red banner down the bottom, but it's a fucking pale ale. That's bullshit in my mind. But there you go, guys. Definitely try it. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this one. Definitely worth a 6.5 out of 10. The other thing I wanted to mention is Dunn's. As I said, I got this. This is a 330ml can. This cost almost £3. Now, I just want to know what the fuck is going on with the beer prices in Ireland. For a long time, it's just kind of my thing. I give out about the price of beer. And I may have given the impression that I've been complaining about the brewers charging too much, when in reality it's not. It's the shops. Like, I mean, Dunn's, which is not a highfalutin high-end supermarket, charging £3 for like it, almost £3 for like that. It was a little less than £3 actually. But that's a lot of breweries now are putting out their beers in 330ml cans, which is dead handy, and I suppose for the supermarkets it's a lot handier. But the problem is the prices are remaining the same as 500ml bottles. Now, £3 for this equates to about somewhere between £4 and £4.50 for a 500ml bottle. Now, I'm sorry, but there's no Irish craft beer currently that I'm aware of that's worth that. In fact, I would go so far as to say there's no craft beer full stop worth £4.50 for a 500ml bottle. Unless you're talking about something like Cantillon or Chimay or, you know, one of these super duper ones. But for the like of that, yeah, it's getting pretty damn expensive. I definitely buy this one again. You know, but at £3 is kind of getting to that point where I'm kind of saying, yeah, is it really worth it? But yeah, it's not bad. I just wish that they'd get rid of all the bullshit with the red. So, there you go, guys. Irishtown Brewing Company, Dublin Red, even though it's not a red, even though it is a red, even though it says pale on the can, even though it's really an Irish red ale. 6.5 out of 10, guys. Take care. Slán go fóill.